Class time, class time, class time, class time, class time.
That the grammar
Stupid!
in ASL is different than English. Is that a thing?
Get out! Hello, 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 hello.
You generally don't use it.
Hello.
Make sure you mute your mic for class.
How are all of you today?
Get some space over
You're good? You're good?
Yeah.
You're good? You're great? You're good? You're so? You're fine? Alright! Good, 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 good! Okay, and who here is your first time at a lesson? Who's your first timers? Raise your hand! Raise your first timer! You're a 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 first timer! Welcome, 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 welcome! I'm so happy to be your first ever teacher here in VR. I hope that you learn a lot, you have fun, and you feel welcomed because all of you guys are welcomed here. Because we do have our newcomers here, I'm going to be telling you guys the rules. There's not a lot of rules. I'm a pretty chill person, but we do have a few. Number one rule is please mute your microphone during class unless you have a question. So if you're like, Jenny, I want to know how to sign dinosaur, but I don't know how to fingerspell dinosaur. You're totally fine to raise your hand, turn on your microphone, and talk and say, Jenny, how do you sign dinosaur? And I'll totally help you with that. So yeah, no talking unless you're going to be asking questions. What do you mean?
Well, if you're desktop and you want to ask a question like I am, I can't raise my hand.
You can speak. You can speak, or come up. You come up to me and say, hello, Jenny. Oh, your mic's on, my friend. You're fine. Okay, next rule is please do not interrupt. So if somebody is up here and they're talking or signing to me, don't go like, oh, yeah, I have a question too. Don't do that. You know, like, let's just be respectful. Wait your turn. I promise I won't ignore you on purpose. So yeah. You know, mute your mic unless you're having a question. Don't interrupt. And number 3 is, you know, just be respectful and understanding of all people. So that includes me. You know, respect that I might sign something differently than Crow does because I live on the West Coast. Or I might say something differently than War Dragon does. And, you know, you can respect that. There's so many different variations, but it also means I want you guys to respect each other. So if somebody says a question and you're like, oh, that's so easy. Like, they're being dumb. Why did they even ask that? Keep that to yourself. You don't have to say that out loud. You know, nothing nice to say. Don't say it at all. So respect everyone around you, including me and yourselves. And, you know, that's all. And don't be afraid to ask questions. Speaking of which, I think Shaw has a question. What's up? Optimized avatars, yes. Thank you for reminding me. So Shaw, why don't you come over up here with your cloning on? And everyone, also you, can you come up here? Yep. So right here, these lovely, lovely avatars are optimized, which means that's going to help our performance here and make that lag way lower. That's going to help me teach more clearly, and that's going to help you guys understand way better. So go ahead and just copy some of these avatars up here. If you're not sure if your avatar needs to be changed, I will start telling you. So Kitty, you need to change. Tuna, you need to change. Paprika, you need to change. Mark, please, you need to change. And everyone else looks pretty good. I also think a lot of quest avatars are good performance. So if you need, if you don't like any of these, then you can use that. And don't worry, when we take the end class picture, you guys can all change back into your normal avatars so you can recognize yourselves. All right, thank you so much for understanding. That's going to help us all out a lot. Okay, and now we can kind of begin class here. So I already asked you guys if you wanted a special class or just a normal class, and whoop, there goes my tracking. Pretty much all of you said that you wanted a normal class. So I'm gonna be, you know, just teaching you guys today, not anything like special, like an activity or whatever. And that's cool. I hope that you guys will learn a lot. But before we start, is there anything that you guys want me to go over? Anything you guys have in mind? A lesson you wanted to learn? Oh, Jenny, I really wanted to learn this. Anything at all? Or your topic you want to discuss? Anything? Name signs for the new students? Okay. Name signs? Do you have one? Wow, tracking going crazy. Woo! What's up?
Numbers.
Numbers. Okay. Hold on. I'm gonna try and fix my tracking. 1 second. It's going a little crazy. 1 second. Whoop. Disembodied voice of Jenny says we will go over name signs and numbers. That's completely fine.
You look like a Muppet right now, with just your
You know
hand
what?
being...
Shh. It's okay. I'm behind the scenes right now. I'm behind the scenes. Yeah.
Do you have any puppets back there?
Yes, Elmo is coming out soon. I'm like teaching kindergartners. You know, you guys need to be entertained, so I got to bring puppets out so you guys can see and be like, "Whoop! There I go! Wow."
Isn't there an avatar that like has you as a puppet?
Yes, that is true. I could teach in that. That would be freaking hilarious. But there's no fingers. Woo! Okay, there we go. I'm back. Hello. Sorry. You have a question? What's up? Yep, you. Sure.
Cool. So for anyone who doesn't know, thumbs are back
Yes.
in VR.
Yes.
So
Oh, thank
you
you for
can use those.
reminding me. Thank you
It's all
for
good.
reminding me. I forgot. Yeah, that's right. So before, if you guys didn't know, all non-index users could not do this. It would be a relaxed hand for everyone else. But now it is fixed. So now you guys can do 2 thumbs up. Yay! Woo! Oh, you know what we could do at the end picture? We should all do thumbs up. We should do that. Yeah!
Until
yeah,
it breaks
yeah.
again.
Until it breaks again. Let's celebrate. Okay. But yeah, anyways. So yeah, so you guys want to learn... okay, so first person asked about name signs, which is a cultural aspect. So I'll go over that for our new students here. So show of hands, who here knows what a name sign is? Raise your hand. If you're like, yeah, I know what a name sign is. I know what that is. Yeah? Yeah, if you don't have hands, you can wiggle. You can wiggle. Yeah. Okay. So that's a lot of you. That's awesome. And if you don't know, that's fine. You don't know what you don't know. So I'm here to educate you. So what a name sign is it's given to a person, and instead of just finger spelling your name every single time, it's an actual sign. And normally it's the first letter of their name. Sometimes their initials, or other times not at all. But usually it's with the first letter name. So let's say somebody's name is Omar, okay? And we're going to use O. And so Omar, here's my imaginary friend Omar. Let's say he's a very energetic person. He's always like the light of the party. He comes in that room and you know he's there because Omar, my friend, he is just a bundle of joy, right? So Omar, if he had been learning sign for a long time, a deaf or a hard of hearing person would be able to make a name sign for him and give it to Omar. So let's say because Omar is such an excited person, this deaf person would give him a name sign with 2 O hands, excited. And that would now be what represents Omar. And all people would use that. And so if you're introducing and say, oh, hello, my name is Omar, and my name sign is like this, and it means excited. A little reminder to make sure your mic's muted. It sounds like someone's scratching their face or something. Yeah, anyway, so a deaf or hard hearing person is the only people who can make a name sign in most communities. So what that means is if you're super excited and you've been learning for a long time and you're like, name signs are so cool, I want a name sign. Yes, that's awesome. We all want name signs, but you have to be patient and allow a deaf or hard of hearing person to make that and give that to you because it's a real honor. It means that you've been accepted into the community, and it's something that's sort of like a gift, and you don't want to rush that. So number one, you know, hearing people aren't the people who make that. And number two, you don't want to be asking a deaf or hard of hearing person for a name sign because all right, well, here's this. Here's a little comparison. Who here wears glasses in real life? You can go ahead and raise your hand if you're a glasses user. Wow, okay, so that's a lot of you guys. So let me ask you this, my glasses user. Have you ever in your life heard the question, oh, can I try on your glasses? Yeah, all of you guys are like, oh, yes. And I'm sure you know how annoying that is, right? Come on, you can be honest. It's annoying because you hear it all the time. Especially if you grew up with glasses and you're with little kids and you're like, oh my God, no, it's my glasses. I'm not going to give you my glasses. So think of it as kind of like a comparison, right? Somebody who grew up in deaf culture and they have this culture and it's something that's important to them, they're kind of used to people kind of bugging them and being like, oh, can I have a name sign? Could I have a name sign? And they're like, this is my decision to give you a name sign. You know, so just like you want to be respectful of somebody who has glasses and they're like, I don't want to give you my glasses, you know, you also want to be respectful of a deaf or hard of hearing person and they're like, no, you know, I don't really want to give you a name sign right now. I don't know you enough. Yeah, that's just a respect thing. Yeah, so number one, hearing people don't make name signs. Number two, you don't want to be asking for a name sign. And number three, name signs are super cool. Like, seriously cool. And I think it's amazing seeing all the diversities in name signs because people think, okay, so it's just the first letter and something about it. So, you know, tall or short or happy or sad. Oh, that's just boring. No. Name signs could be so expressive and interesting and could tell you a lot about a person, especially if it's a different signed language from a different country. So Fajan, he is our deaf member from Austria, and his name sign is this, and it means dance in Austrian Sign Language. And I find that really interesting because I never knew that's how you sign dance. Or some of our other people have really interesting name signs. Like Papa T, his name sign is with tall because he's super duper tall, and I think it's adorable because he's a tall munchkin. Or some other name signs that I found. I met a guy and his name sign was fish. Because he liked to fish. You know what? I respect that. So, you know what? Your name sign could be whatever. As long as you accept it, your name sign could be fish. Or I met somebody and their name sign was this. What? That's so cool! It just means an explosive personality. You see that name sign, you know exactly who that person is. You're like, their heart explodes. That's so cool. So name signs are awesome and a really big part of deaf culture. And that's why I love teaching about it because it's super exciting and really cool thing to learn about. But yeah, so that's kind of the basics of name signs. Does anyone have any questions? Doesn't have to be about name signs. It can be about anything at all. You got a question? What's up?
Yeah, the thing is if you got a sign name, but you kinda not okay with it, is it like rude to ask the person to not call you this, or?
Good question. So yeah, what if I'm like, oh, you talk a lot, so I want to give you a name sign of loud talker, and you're like, I don't really want that name sign. It is totally fine and respectful to say, no thank you. If somebody gives you a name sign and either you don't feel like you deserve one, or you feel like you don't want one right now, or if you just don't like whatever it is, you can totally say, oh no thank you. You know, or you could say, could I maybe try a different one? And they're like, oh, okay, what about this? What about that? So yeah, it's totally fine. It's also fine if you want to change it. So let's say you're given one when you're a real little kid, you grow up and you don't like it anymore. You could stop using it and then tell people, you know, I don't have a name sign right now, and wait for the opportunity to be given a new one. So yeah, it's totally fine to say, you know what, I'm not really feeling that name sign. No, thank you. I'm totally not rude at all. Thank you for the question. Does anyone else have any questions at all? Like I said, it could be about anything. Doesn't have to be about name signs. Could be, can deaf people drive? Yes, deaf people can drive. Answering that for any of you, if you had that in your mind. Okay, anything else? Yeah, better than hearing people, yep. What's up?
Okay, so this is based on that conversation. I think I mentioned it to you already, but I was hanging out with some people and they thought that deaf and hard of hearing people couldn't do basic things on their own. So this goes beyond driving, but like, oh, so you have like aides that come to your house and they'll do tasks for you because, oh, poor you can't hear. Oh, that's so awful. And related to that was just like the idea that people think, oh, you're deaf. Oh, that really sucks. That's so pitiful. I feel so bad for you. So like both of those things like kind of bugged me, and they were definitely things that some new people don't know about.
Right, that's really good. I'm totally going to talk about that. So this kind of goes hand in hand with something that not everyone knows, and that most deaf or hard of hearing people do not like to be labeled disabled. There are some deaf people who do choose to use that label of disabled, but normally you don't want to call a deaf person, oh, you're disabled, or a hard of hearing person, you're disabled. Because a really common phrase that's said in the deaf community is deaf people can do anything but hear. So it's like deaf people can drive, deaf people can have a job, deaf people can, do whatever. We can be scientists or bakers or dancers, whatever, you name it. And by allowing yourself to accept that fact of deaf people can do anything, allow yourself to kind of separate this maybe idea of deaf people or hard of hearing people being disabled or needing help all the time, because deaf people are capable and strong, and if they need help, accept that they need it, but it's not like, oh, are you okay? Are you okay? Like, it's like, we're fine. It's important to respect deaf people as equals. We are all the same. It's not deaf or better or deaf or worse. It's equality, and by giving equal opportunities to deaf people and respecting them in an equal way. But also, when they need it, accepting that and giving that help that they need. So if a bunch of people are having a conversation and a deaf person is left out, then you can take that place in your heart to help them and interpret what's going on. And that's not rude. That's not anything mean. That's being helpful. But it's the line between, does this person need help, or do I just think they need help? Am I speaking for this person and telling them that they need help when really they don't? And allow yourself to have this mindset of deaf people being equal. They're not aliens or monsters from another planet. They're just people, and we don't need special treatment most of the time. What was the other part that you were saying? Hold on, I'm gonna remember. Oh, pity. Also, like, don't pity deaf people. Like, it's a really big thing where it's like, oh, hey, can I help you? They're like, oh, sorry, I'm deaf. And I go, oh, I'm sorry. Don't say that. Never say you're sorry to a deaf person because they're deaf, because that's, you grow up like that. It's nothing that you should be sad or upset about or pitied for. Deaf people are very happy people and are strong and don't need somebody to pity them. And if anything, it's kind of annoying because, like I said, you hear that, oh, I'm sorry. It's, like I said, they're just people. They're equal, So number one, meeting a deaf person, don't be pitying them. Just, okay, they're deaf, cool. And number two, it's like, only give them help if they're asking for it or you can see that they need it. Don't go out of your way to hold their hand when they're crossing the street. Like, that sounds silly, but you hear all these stories about deaf people getting offered wheelchairs at an airport, and you're like, I'm deaf. I don't need a wheelchair. So yeah, it happens more often than you think. But yeah, just bottom line, deaf people are equal. Treat them that way. Just respect them equally. But yeah, do you have a question, my dear sir?
Yeah, I'm being completely serious, and I don't mean this to be a joke in any form or any manner of disrespect.
Totally.
But can deaf people actually make music?
Yes, 100%. Yes. In fact, very famous musicians have been deaf. Usually it's becoming deaf. So a lot of singers sang their whole lives and became deaf and were able to retain that. But also people who are born deaf can totally make music. They just need a little bit more extra training. Usually deaf people are very good at reading sheet music because they're able to kind of separate themselves from sound and writing and just focus on one individual thing at a time. There's plenty of talented deaf musicians out there, and yeah, it's 100% possible. Yeah. Did you have a question also?
Yes, I did.
What's up?
Okay,
Ooh,
so I
you
do
can
this without realizing, but I will find myself like, oh, I did?
Yeah, I can hear you now. You're
so, okay. I do this without realizing, but I catch myself like staring at people signing. Is this rude or awkward to them? Like, I try and understand their conversation. Is that rude?
Okay, so I always say it depends. And I'd say ask yourself, if you were just having a conversation, you know, speaking with somebody, would you feel comfortable with somebody staring at you? So if you're like, yo, I just went to the doctor and it turns out I have this really bad rash, like way down there, you know what I mean? And you're having this private conversation and then somebody's like, so you know, just ask yourself, would you be comfortable with somebody staring at you if this were a hearing conversation? And personally, if I'm having a conversation, I'm just like, how are you? I'm good. Cool, I'm good too. Did you sleep good? Like, I don't care. If somebody's staring at me, I don't care. But you could usually tell if it's a private conversation, if they're kind of off in their own corner and they're signing small. You should probably respect that they want to be alone. But I'd say in most cases, unless they kind of look at you funny, it's usually fine. It's person to person.
Okay, thank you.
Good question. Do you? Okay, hold on. You cut them off. You cut them off. You're gonna go after them.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to.
You're fine.
Everybody's a robot.
Who's this person? I have nameplates off. Oh, Taito, hello. Okay, yeah, what's up? Eye contact? Yeah, sure. Right. Yeah, so eye contact is really important, like more important than like hearing conversation, because you got to be able to see what's signing. So, you know, you're kind of looking in this area. You can look them in their eyes and you can understand their signing, but I know that's a little bit harder for students. So if you're kind of struggling to know where to look at their eyes or their signs down here, just look in this kind of box area right here. You're just being able to take it all in. It's really important not to do this. If somebody's signing with you and you're like, gonna scroll through my friend list. I'm gonna change my Spotify sound. No. Because you can do that in a hearing conversation because you could hear what they're saying, but not if it's all signed because you need to be able to focus on them to understand it all. And it's really rude if you're basically telling this person, I'm not interested in what you're saying. I'm looking over here. That's something that's rude. And so yeah, eye contact is very important, and it's a good practice to get in the habit of just looking at somebody and not breaking away at all when they're signing. And that's like a really good thing for club. If you go to club, when you're practicing signing with people, just kind of remind yourself, just lock on to this person and keep signing while looking at them. Yeah, it's a really important part of sign. Thank you for that. All right, Ray, now you can talk. What's up?
Okay, sorry about earlier, but
You're fine.
okay, you mentioned about signing small. Is there okay? So what's the difference between signing small and signing big? Like,
right. So it's kind of like it sounds. So let's say the sentence, "I broke my oven today." So I'll show you signing small. maybe you're embarrassed, so you're telling a person, "Oh, I broke my oven today." You're signing all right here on your chest. I broke my oven. I'm sorry. You're signing that to them, right? Maybe you're kind of looking away, and all's right here. But if I'm angry, if I'm telling somebody I broke my oven, I'm like, dude, I broke my oven today. Oh, like you're making your hands all over the place. It's all the way up here. It's all the way down here. You're like, you will not believe what happened, bro. Like you're big. You know, you're moving your body more rather than just I broke my oven.
So basically, if I'm understanding this correctly, sign big is just more or less waving your arms like a wacky waving inflatable arm playing on Tube Man, right?
Sure, if that helps you remember it, sure. Yeah, totally.
Sorry.
Sure thing. Any other questions? Anything at all? Woo! It's rock, paper, scissors time! I saw you guys at the same exact time. Let's go! Woo! Alright, get up next to each other. I'm gonna say rock, paper, scissors. You go on, shoot. Ready? Rock, paper, scissors, shoot! Hey! And fire is the winner. You can go ahead and go first.
Hi. Could you give some examples of like adaptive technology, like the strobe doorbell, the flashing doorbell?
Oh yeah, sure, yeah. So one example that I always use is fire alarms. So when you think about way back when, like when you were little in school and you had a fire drill, did you notice anything about the fire alarm on the wall? Besides the piercing noise, you might have known it. Yep, some of you guys are saying it flashes. There's a little light in it and it will flash. And the reason why, it's for deaf people. So if a deaf person is typing and maybe they're not able to hear the sound, they're going to be able to see the light and look up and know that there's a fire and that they need to leave. And without that, deaf people would be dying a lot because of fires, because they would have no idea that they needed to evacuate. So yeah, number one, fire alarms, it's flashing lights. Another one, alarms, just in general. So like, you know, you need to wake up. There's so many different variations of that. So one alarm is it's underneath your pillow. So you have your pillow here and then you put it right underneath and you set the time and it will vibrate. And so it vibrates your pillow and you're like, it's a very hard way to wake up. But deaf people, if they choose that, they get used to it. So it vibrates their pillow and has you wake up. And the other variation would be similar to the fire alarm. It's flashing lights. I myself have that on my phone. So if I ever get a text message or if my alarm goes off that I need to wake up, it's going to flash on my phone. And that's what I prefer. I prefer that over vibrations because I don't like vibrations. And other forms of alarms is there's one where it goes at the foot of your bed and it has a wire that goes down and connects to like your device or whatever, and it will vibrate the whole bed. It's like, so that's for hard sleepers. Like if the pillow wasn't enough, if the flashing lights wasn't enough, it will just vibrate your whole bed. And that's also for deaf parents who have a baby and they can't hear the baby crying at night. So what they'll do is they'll set up a camera. So if the baby starts crying, it will alert the alarm and wake them up. So that way they can tend to the baby. Some other technologies that are really cool are video phones that are for deaf people. So let's say I'm a deaf person and I want to call my mom who's hearing, but I just have a phone on me. So what I use is my special VP device, and it will connect me to an interpreter who will connect to my mom. So I will sign what I want to say to the interpreter, and then she will speak it to my mom. My mom will speak it to the interpreter, and she will sign it to me. And that is super cool, right? So yeah, that's just a few examples, but honestly, like a lot of alarm systems have lights, a lot of different settings on your phone or computer. You can see it's for accessibility for deaf people. It's really all over if you look for it. But yeah, those are a few examples of different technology. Thank you for that question. That was really good. Okay, I didn't forget. Figure, you were next.
When it comes to customer service, I guess when you're in the workforce, is there anything that maybe you should specially do for deaf and hard of hearing people that come into your workplace? Like any different way that you should do customer service at all?
So I'd say it depends on your sign knowledge. A really good video that I like to show people, it's kind of silly, but it also discusses serious stuff, is it's showing different ways of how police officers were handling assisting deaf people. And one of them, it was like this police officer thought she knew enough to just like full on like tell this person why they were arrested and sign, and she was like, H I E. Wait, I messed up. A like, and you were just seeing this deaf person being like, dude, what? Like, they were arrested and they needed to clearly understand everything, and this person took it upon themselves to sign, and they didn't know enough. So I'd say number one, think about the situation. Is this situation something where this deaf person should know? It's extremely important knowledge, and if so, ask them if they need an interpreter, or ask them what they prefer. So if they're a vocal person, ask them, what do you need me to do? Do you want me to write down? Do you want me to text? What do you want me to do? And if they tell you, just respect that. I'd say number one, ask them. And if they say, I'm fine with you writing, or I'm fine with you speaking and I could read your lips, or whatever, you could respect that. But on the other hand, if you do know a little bit of sign, it's more of a respect thing or a polite thing to do. Just be like, oh, how are you? I know a little bit of sign. Just tell them that. I wouldn't recommend using that as a full form of communication, just in case you're like, whoa, this is getting over my head. I don't know these signs. It could be overwhelming for you, and then you feel embarrassed. So yeah, I'd say bottom line, just ask the person, what do they need? If you need an interpreter, get that for them. If they need to be writing, write for them. And if you do know a bit of sign, just be nice and be like, hello, good to see you. How can I help you? And that's the bottom line. Yeah. But yeah, don't be like the people who it's a very serious case and they're just like, here's me signing to you, deaf person. Not good. Do you have a question? What's up?
I do, and kind of bouncing off the back of that. First off, I want to say that because of this community, I've been able to actually speak with someone for the first time using sign language, and it was really amazing, to say the least. But I also wanted to say that what's the best way to kind of communicate with someone who doesn't understand that I'm learning inside of VR? How do I convey that to someone who, doesn't understand that?
So I've seen, just say like I learned from, and then say VR, like finger spell it first. And then if they don't know what it is, be like, it's like the headset, you put it on, you play your games, and they'll be like, oh, wow, you can sign in that? And you're like, yeah. And then just be like, yeah, but it's not perfect. That's what I say. It's not perfect. And you could say it has limitations. This is a good way to say it. It has limitations. You go like from forward, bring it in, limit or limitations. It has limitations, so, be slow. I'm still learning. Just saying that you're still learning and it's not perfect, then I'm sure they'll understand. You don't gotta go in depth. And you're like, and then there's the helping hands, Discord. Oh, you don't know what Discord is? Let me explain Discord. It's this text-based platform. And then also we have VR meetups, but then we also have clubs, and then we have classes. Oh, and then we also teach French sign language, because and they're like, just be like, I'm a slow learner. I learned from VR, so be slow. And they'll be like, okay, that's all you need to say. But yeah, good question.
Right, cool. Thank you.
No problem. Let's see, let me check the time. All right, any other questions that you guys have? Be about anything at all. Hi, Steffi, what's up? Oh, okay. So you mean like, what if I wanted to? So that like the example I used of like calling my mom and there's an interpreter, and like, what if I want to tell my mom like, Mom, I'm at a party and I just pooped my pants and I really need you to pick me up. Like, you mean like that? So here's the thing. CODAs, which are childs of deaf adults, kind of all at one point in their life learned the lesson of that interpreter does not care. You can say anything to them. They have heard it all. And especially because deaf people are very open and very blunt, they are not afraid to be like with the interpreter being like, yeah, I just pooped my pants. Like, and that interpreter does not care because like I said, they've heard it all. So I'd say it depends on your comfortability. If you feel uncomfortable discussing something with that interpreter listening, I would say just text. Right? Just be like, okay, you know what? I'm gonna text you something or email, whatever. Just say I'm not comfortable saying this, but honestly, the interpreter doesn't care. The deaf person most likely will not care. They'll probably be like, yeah, I need you to come pick me up. I got poo-poo everywhere, bro. Like, they'll just say it, and it's fine. Like, it's a really common joke in the interpreter like community with like meetups that I was at, where they say, never ask a deaf person about bathroom troubles. Never. Because they will just tell you everything. Texture, color, smell, how long. You'll hear it all. And you're just like, oh boy. You're like, I did not want to know that. But they will hold back. They'll just tell you. So like I said, deaf people are very honest and blunt, and they'll tell you how it is, with no shame. And honestly, I respect that. You know, I've learned a lot from deaf culture. I feel like like a really funny like common thing is you ask a hearing person, "Hey, how are you?" and they'll be like, "I'm fine." Me too. Yeah. That's it. Like, that's the initial comment. But a deaf person, you're like, I'm not even kidding you. It's such a common thing to be like, how are you? And they'll be like, well, today I woke up at around 7. After that, I went to my kitchen and I decided to make some cereal. But then I realized the cereal was out, and I was like, oh, it was so annoying, right? Anyways, after that, I decided to make some toast. But then the butter was gone, and I'm like, what's going on? And then I realized I hadn't been shopping. They will tell you everything. From the moment they woke up to meeting you. Like, they'll just tell you everything. And I think that's super cool. Like, I'm gonna learn so much more from that than just, I'm fine. My day was fine. That's it. You know, like, it's respectable that you don't have to be ashamed of bathroom troubles. You don't have to be ashamed of having a bad morning. You can just say it. And honestly, I feel like the same thing applies with interpreters or video phones. Also real life interpreters. So if you're like talking to somebody and there's an interpreter, even if it's on a video file, they might just say things and you'll be like, whoa, I don't know if this interpreter wanted to hear that. And they're like, I didn't, but here we are. So yeah, that's kind of the bottom line of just, I'm obviously making a generalization. There are totally deaf people who are shy or not comfortable sharing, but most deaf people in the culture is just very forward and blunt. Yeah. But yeah, good question. All right, Voodoo, do you have a question?
Not yet.
Okay, thank you. Super Ray, do you have a question?
Yes, I do. Okay. How can you tell the difference between a real teacher and a fake teacher that's trying to teach you sign language when you barely know any sign language IRL?
Number one, just ask. Say, how long have you been learning? And if they're like, 2 days, then you're like, well, maybe I don't want to be learning from this person. You know, so yeah, number one, just ask them. Number two,
presume that they're going like saying, "Oh, I've been learning for
learning
years."
my whole life.
Yeah.
Then at that point, I would say, can you show me how to sign approve? And they'll be like, and then you could be like, something tells me you don't know how to sign approve. And then you'll be like, okay, that's fine. Can you show me how to sign potato salad? And they'll be like, So, yeah, I feel like allowing yourself to ask them questions. That's what I would say.
Let me clarify this, because I'm okay. This is on my end entirely. But I'm assuming like, how do I spot the fake signers that are overly confident and make up fake signs that say this is how you say so and so?
Yeah, I understand. Honestly, that would be just protecting yourself. So allowing yourself to say, no, you're not a teacher. Don't tell me how to sign that. Just say that. Like, straight up say, I know that you are not fluent. I know that you're not an approved teacher. I don't want to learn from you. Please don't tell me how to sign that. That's it. And if they get offended, then they can be offended because that's what it is. And honestly, I could sit here and preach to all of you about why you shouldn't be teaching if you're not qualified, but at the end of the day, there's always going to be people who teach. So it's, comes to your individual jobs of being vigilant and understanding when you could say, you know what, dude, no, don't teach me. And, that's all I can really say. I can't control everyone, sadly.
Well, I was talking about IRL, not just in game. But I
That
get
too.
what you're saying.
You can also just say, hey, no, I don't feel comfortable learning from you. You could say that.
Alright. Okay.
Any other questions? Voodoo, you have one now or no? Just vibing?
Just vibing.
Okay, cool. Let's see, any other? Oh, hi, what's up, Steph? Numbers! I forgot numbers. Numbers! Okay, thank you. Okay, we'll teach that and then we'll be finished. Okay, so number, how do you say number? It's a Mamma Mia hand in real life, and you go like this. Number. Yep, number. Yep, and then let's start from number 1. So number 1, all 1 through 5 is facing yourself. So you're not like this. You can do that casually, but you're supposed to face towards yourself, right? 1, easy as pie. 2, super duper easy, right? Then 3, if you're in real life or if you have an index, you're going to be doing this. If you don't have an index or we're doing this in game, you could do this. 3. Okay, so 3. Then 4. Yeah, 4. If you have index in real life, if you don't, we're going to be doing this. 4. So 4 or 4. Then 5. Everyone could do that. 5. Okay, now here, 6. If you have index or if you're doing this in real life, you're connecting that pinky to your thumb. 6. If you don't have index, 6. Yep. Then next, 7. So now we're going from our pinky to our ring finger. And if you don't have index, yep, you're going to be doing that. Then 8. Now it's from our ring finger to our middle. You see a pattern? And this one is hard for non-index users. We're going to be doing this. Ready? It's complicated. So we have 7 here, and then we're going to go. This is 8. You're going from 2 to 1, which means 3. Okay, I know it's hard. I'm sorry. Next is 9. So we went from our middle finger to our pointer. So we went from 6, 7, 8, and 9, right? And for our non-index users, 9. Okay, let's start it again. 1, 2, 3, or 3, 4, or 4, and 5, 6, or 6, and 7, or 7, 8, or 8, then 9, or 9. Okay. Then, who wants to guess, if you know it, don't tell me, who wants to guess how you sign 10? How do you sign 10? Show me how you sign 10. 10. You're wrong! It was a trick! This is how you sign 10. So all like true variations of like non-VR version, it's all one-handed. So I could do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So I don't have to do this. 10. One hand. Easy as pie. Have a thumbs up, you're wiggling it. 10. 10. Don't feel bad if you got it wrong. I knew you'd get it wrong. That's why I asked. Okay. 10. Do you guys want to go over 10 or do you feel like that's too fast? Yeah? Okay. Okay, ready? Next is 11. Flicking that finger. 11. 11. And then could you guess 12? 12. 12. Just like that. Flicking that two hand. Then 13. Gonna have that thumb out. So this is 13. This is 12. If you don't have index, whoop, hold on. Tracking. Then you could do this. It's a little awkward. 13. 13. Then 14. 4, you're flicking it. You could do this without index. 14. Then 15. Got that thumb out now. 15. So let's do that again. Ready? 11. Flicking that 1. 12. 13. 14. 15. Okay? So now, remember how we did that 6, 7, 8, 9? It's going to be just like that. So we're going to start with 6, then we do this. 16. We're going to be doing this motion. See this? 16. And for our non-index users, all you're going to do is 10, 6. 10, 6. That's all. Okay? Then 17. 17. You're doing that 7 and you're rotating. 18. 19. Yeah? Okay, let's do that one again. So 16, you have that 6 hand, you're doing this. 16 for non-index users. Yeah? 17 for non-index users. 10. 18. 10. 8. And 19. And another variation that you could do with your non-index is you could do this. You point to your middle finger, bring it down, and then do that. That's fine too. If you find that easier, you could totally do this. 18, 19. Now here's another question. Who here thinks they know how to sign 20? Go ahead and show me. Good guess, Steffi. Good guess. Yep. Good. I saw a lot of good guesses, and some people got it right. 20. 20. It's a little weird, isn't it? 20. I will tell you, this is the weirdest one out of all the other, like, what are they called? Tens places? Yeah, so 30 is just 30. 30. 40, 40, 50, 50, 60, 70. You get it, right? But 20, we're going to be using kind of like this L hand shape. Okay? So before we go on to the 20s, let's do another review, and we're going to start all the way from the beginning. All right? So show me how to sign 1, 2, 3, 4. No, I really sound like I'm teaching kindergarten. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yep, 11. Yep. 12, 13, 14, 15, then 16, yep, 17, 18, 19, and 20. So 20, okay, so I'm going to tell you. All the stuff over that, all it is so like 54, 5, 4, 67, 6, 7, whatever. But 20 is weird. I don't know who decided to make 20 so freaking weird. So I'm going to go kind of basic to explain 20. So like 21 is like, oh my god, 21, instead you go like this, right? This, right? Yeah. 21. So you're gonna be wiggling your finger either like this or like this. 21. Yep, it's weird. I know. Even like some deaf people don't know how to sign this. Like I was talking with Danny about this the other day and he's like, "Really?" I'm like, "Yeah." Okay. So right, here's 21. So take a guess. How do you sign 22? Go ahead and show me your guess. Okay, that's a good guess. That's a good guess. You're all wrong. 22. This is how you sign 22. It's weird. It's weird. I don't know. But you're going to have your two hand and go 22. Like that. 22. Okay. So we're going 21. 22. It's weird. I know. I'm right here with you. It's weird. Then I've signed 23. That's how I sign it. Do you sign 23? Is that how you sign it? 23? 23? Oh my god, so weird. See, there's even different variations of... Okay, so this is how 23... This is so weird. I don't like the 20s. I don't like the 20s. I'm right here with you. I don't like it. I don't like it. Okay, literally, I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I've always signed like 24. That's what I do, 24, because I think it's easier. I do 21, and then I do 22, and then I do 23. That's what I've always done. But you say 23 and then 24? Can you... oh god. Okay, so I was right. I am right, right? I said 24. Oh, okay. Okay. Okay, fine. 24, and then 25, 26, yada yada yada, right? Let's go over this one more time because it's hard. I know it's hard for all of us, right? So show me how you sign 20. Is it 20? No, just 20. 20, yep. 20, then 21. 21, yep, good. 22. 22. And all the rest is normal. Wait. First we got this weird one. 23. 23. Wiggle that middle finger. If you don't have index, I'm sorry, I forgot. 23. That's how we're going to be doing it for your non-index users. 23. Okay? Before our index users, we're going to be wiggling our middle finger at people.
Jenny.
What's your question, Voodoo?
25 is an open hand with your middle finger wiggle waggling.
No, are you serious? 25?
Yes.
Seriously? Why? Oh my god. I hate all the different variations. I've seen so many different variations. I've seen 25, 25, and 25. I've seen all those.
24 is normal. You do 24, but 25 is finger wiggle waggling.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. And then 26, 27. That's all right.
Yeah.
28, 29. Okay. Let's go through it one more time. From the top. Ready? 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, I guess. 25. I haven't seen that variation so long that I forget it. 25, 26, 27, 28, 29. And like I said, 30. Easy. 30. And everything else is easy. 20 is just very weird. But everything else, you're going to go 34, 35, 45, 46, whatever. What's up? You're a teacher. Also, you can come up here and help. Go ahead. Bruh, okay. 100. 100. Oh, yeah, I know that. I know that. I thought you were saying that for 20. Okay. Yeah, 100. But it's Okay.
Crow said, bruh.
I know, I was about to say that, but you interrupted me, so I thought you were correcting me. Okay, fine. Watch us argue on camera. Bruh. Okay, what figure? What? 22. No. All other numbers, you don't do the 22 thing. 55. 66. 77. 33. This 22 is a special. Special baby. But like Crow was saying, at 100, 1C, 1C, 1,000, 1,000, like again, but with an open hand. 1,000, 1 million. So instead of one time, going 2. Then billion, trillion, gazillion. Just keep going, right? Okay. So who here wants to volunteer to show me their stuff and count from 1 all the way to 30? Who wants to volunteer? Who's got the guts? Shaw? Was that a volunteer hand that I saw? Yeah, boy. If anyone else wants to, yeah, get up here. If you want to show your stuff, figure, get up here. Yuki, get up here. If you think, yep, here, so everyone can see. We're gonna judge. Yep. All right, make sure you get a little bit in so everyone can see you. Yuki, can you go a little bit to your left? Yeah, and then you guys kind of follow a little bit because Steffi's cut off. There we go. All right, we're going to start at 1, go all the way to 30. Go ahead and show our stuff. I'll count out loud. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, and 30. Woo! By far the crown goes to figure. You did not stumble once. It's all that hard work at the cashier. I can tell. I see it in you. You guys all did wonderful as well. Thank you for a little volunteer session. I encourage you guys to practice your numbers, both in real life and in VR. If you're just sitting down on your phone, you could do it all one-handed. You know, just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. While you're scrolling through Twitter, just be finger spelling or doing your numbers with one hand, just like that. Good way to practice. Do you have a question before we end class? Because I'm not going to be taking any more questions after this.
Hamburger. How do you sign hamburger?
Hamburger. You have a meat patty in your hand and you're shaping it to make it into a hamburger. Yay! Awesome. All right, and with that, what a wonderful way to end the class. Let's go ahead and start over here. And remember, we're all going to do all thumbs up. Everyone do double thumbs up for the picture to celebrate its return.